Hello and welcome to this afternoon stream of Driving Essentials. Let's see how bad I can get this driving simulator to fail me. Even though you need to pass with the 80% for all the achievements. Thanks for the host, Jess. Hello, Olkesh. Alright, let's go to lessons. The basics. Thanks for the host, Olkesh. Lesson 1. Yeah, I know. The dangerous driving sounds more fun. I wanted a dangerous drive in this one.
Alright, so this is where your training begins. I'll be your instructor throughout the program, and we'll be here to help you every step of the way.
Yeah, it's live for me.
You may already have some experience driving, or this may be your first time. Either way, I think you'll learn a few things before we're done. We'll start
Thanks for
on
the
this
host,
test
AB.
track and practice some basic skills before we get on the road. Start by looking around your vehicle. Notice the other vehicles around you.
Thanks for the host, Epic.
It looks like you can see everything, but there are places around your vehicle you just can't see from the driver's seat. These are often called blind spots, and it's one reason why a car has mirrors. If you set them correctly, you can eliminate many of those blind spots. Here, I'll show you. So you start by setting the rear view mirror so you can see as much of the rear window as possible.
That's what I want to do.
Like this. Then set the side mirrors as far out as you can, but where you can still see the side of your car, like this.
It's not a game. It's a simulator.
Notice the life bar above. This is how you can keep track of your score during each lesson. Your score will decrease for each infraction, but will also recover as you drive along without making mistakes. Your life will completely deplete, and the lesson will end for any reckless behavior, like getting into a crash, driving off-road, or excessive speeding.
Alright, let's excessive speed.
In every lesson, you'll be required to put on your seatbelt before starting your vehicle.
Or buckled.
Click on your seatbelt by pressing B.
Yeah, it's not electric.
Okay, now start your vehicle.
Thanks for the host,
Use
Dementia.
the D-pad to place the vehicle in drive. Drive up to each stop sign and come to a complete stop before moving forward. Oh, hey, where are you going? You don't get credit for stopping unless you stop completely.
Why is right trigger reverse? What the heck? I hit right trigger. Oh, okay, I hit down on the D-pad and it must have threw it in reverse. Okay, I see. Drive.
Alright, now let's practice steering. That's okay. This program is designed to help you learn to drive safely, so you'll have to follow traffic rules to the best of your ability. The lesson will end immediately if you drive recklessly, such as excessive speeding, crashing, or going off-road.
That was funny. Oh, alright.
Drive up to each stop sign and come to a complete stop before moving forward. You don't get credit for stopping unless you stop completely.
Stop.
Alright, now let's practice steering.
Stop.
Follow the path around these barriers and, try not to hit anything. See? You're already a pro.
Stop.
Try using your turn signal before taking a left. Your turn signal will automatically shut off when you straighten out the wheel. We'll go over the use of turn signals in more detail. You can take a right and continue with the tutorial, or take a left and return to the parking lot. Notice you're not allowed to go straight. Do not enter signs are common, so keep an eye out or you may end up driving into oncoming traffic, which can be embarrassing,
that
never
could
mind
be
dangerous.
Fun! Ooh, I got good driving. What's the speed limit?
There are many road signs you'll need to become familiar with. We won't cover all of them in this course, so make sure to review them on your own. One sign you should pay attention to. This program is designed to help you learn to drive safely, so you'll have to follow traffic rules to the best of your ability. The lesson will end immediately if you drive recklessly, such as excessive speeding, crashing, or going off-road.
I'm not drunk. I haven't had anything to drink. Alcoholic today.
Drive up to each stop sign and come to a complete stop before moving forward. You don't get credit for stopping unless you stop completely.
The thing I don't like is the brakes. You can't really
All right, now
tell.
let's practice steering. Follow the path around these barriers and, try not to hit anything. See, you're already a pro. Try using your turn signal before taking a left. Your turn signal will automatically shut off when you straighten out the wheel. We'll go over the use of turn signals, and you can take a right and continue with the tutorial, or take a left and return to the parking lot. Notice you're not allowed to go straight. Do not enter signs or...
Alright, I had to move the overlay. It was covering the how to drive.
All right, up ahead, we'll try some parallel parking.
Ooh.
People are uncomfortable with parallel parking, and it can be tricky, but I'll show you how to do it perfectly every time with 3 easy steps. Okay, step 1, pull up alongside the car in front of the space where you want to park.
I'm at
There are
0%.
markings on the pavement so you know where to stop. Step 2, put the car in reverse. This overhead view should help. Turn the wheel to the right and point the rear of your car into the space. Step 3, continue backing. When your front bumper clears the other car, turn the wheel back to the left and continue moving back until your entire car is in the space. Check the overhead view to see if you've pulled all the way in. And if you find yourself not lining up, just pull back out and start over. Don't force it. It's better to try a few times than to risk hitting another vehicle. When you're done practicing and ready to leave, simply turn the wheel to the left and pull out the same way you came in.
Alright, so I guess we can leave. Where are we going? What's the speed limit?
Normal parking spaces are much easier, but choosing the right one is more important than you might think. When selecting a spot, check the space for other objects. Go ahead and pull all the way through and shut down your car by putting the car in park and turning off the ignition.
Park, and how do you turn off the ignition?
Okay, I think you're ready for the next lesson. You can run through the course again on your own or escape out to go back to the main menu.
What the heck? Bot is drunk. Alright, quit lesson. Score 100%. Program not found. Lessons. Alright, we did lesson the basics. Scanning.
Okay, so you've learned some of the basics and become more familiar with your vehicle. Now for the most important lesson. It's a simple rule. Don't hit anything or anyone with your car. It might sound obvious, but think about it. If you can avoid hitting other objects and keep them from hitting you, you have all but eliminated being involved in a crash. Let me show you what I mean. Start your vehicle and take a right out of this parking lot. You may have heard other drivers who have been in a crash say, I didn't see it coming. Exactly, they didn't see it. That's why they got hit. The best way to see it coming is to constantly scan your surroundings. Scanning doesn't just mean looking around. It means searching for hazards in situations that could lead to a crash. It sounds simple, but there are some really effective ways of doing it.
What's the speed limit? I don't want to speed. Oh, what are you stopping for? Oh, red light.
When scanning, follow this pattern. Look in front of you for things you have to react to immediately.
Hey, there's a
Then
popo.
further down the road for any upcoming hazards. Look to your left, also checking your left mirror. Then to your right.
Hey, it's Casey. Let's run him
Check the
over.
rear view mirror mirror for any vehicles that might be coming up behind you.
Oh, cops are behind me.
Okay,
We're in
let's
trouble.
Keep going.
Oops. The cop shouldn't have rear-ended me. I wanted to see what it would do. It just kicks you out. That's kind of boring. Come on.
Okay, so you've learned some of the basics and become more familiar with your vehicle. Now for the most important lesson. It's a simple rule. Don't hit anything or anyone with your car.
That's a boring
It might
rule.
sound obvious, but think about it. If you can avoid hitting
This is a
other
video
objects
game.
and
Should be
keep them
Demolition
from hitting
Derby.
you have all but eliminated being involved in a crash. Let me show you what I mean. Start your vehicle and take a right out of this parking lot. You may have heard other drivers who have been in a crash say, I didn't see it coming. Exactly, they didn't see it. That's why they got hit. The best way to see it coming is to constantly scan your surroundings.
Hello,
Scanning
dude.
doesn't just mean looking around. It means searching for hazards in situations that could lead to a crash. It sounds simple, but there are some really effective ways of doing it.
There, I ran a red light.
When scanning, follow this pattern. Look in front of you for things you have to react to immediately. Then further down the road for any upcoming hazards.
Who knows? I might be able to get caught on fire. Wow, it's like looking way back because I'm not supposed to be
Look to
right
your
here.
left. Also checking your left mirror. Then to your right. Finally, check your rear view mirror for any vehicles that might be coming up behind you.
Like the police.
Okay, let's keep going.
Alright, where are we going?
Scanning should be done continuously. You still focus most of your attention straight ahead, but rotate through all other areas every few seconds. You may need to think about scanning at first consciously, but after a while it'll simply become a habit.
Oh, over the speed limit. Oh, don't hit the Rolls Royce. Oh, fine, we'll stop for the red light. I didn't see any Rolls Royce on the street today. Oh, well, don't accelerate so fast and tell me the speed limit.
Stop here, I want to show you something.
Okay, what do you want to show me?
Not all hazards are readily visible. But just because you can't see them, of course, doesn't mean they're not hazards or won't become one. Hazards can be blocked by other vehicles, sharp turns,
Or
even
wings.
road signs.
Ooh, there's somebody hiding right there. Let's run him over.
For instance, that bus to the right might be blocking a number of pedestrians.
Well, they shouldn't be hiding behind the bus.
The truck to the left is hiding an emergency vehicle. And
Oh,
small
speed limit
objects,
35.
Motorcycles and bicycles are easily hidden.
No motorcyclist would be right there. They would get in front of that damn Escalade.
Okay, let's keep going.
Oh, I cut them off.
As you become more experienced, you'll get better at identifying these hidden hazards.
Where's my horn? Freaking kid running in the middle of the street.
Okay, now that you know how to search for hazards, there's a technique that'll allow you to go one step further and actually predict hazards before they occur.
Should have hit him then. Did he have wings? Or is he looking for wings? Road closed.
Some objects might not look like hazards, but might display clues that they're about to become one. If you look carefully, you can spot some of these clues. Look ahead to your right.
Hey,
Notice
BX.
the SUV with its wheels turned out and brake lights on? This may be an indication that the car is about to pull out.
Well, he shouldn't pull out in front of me.
You can see that there's a driver in this truck, which means the door might open at any time. Just in case, you want to slow down and move slightly to the left.
It won't let me go that fast. And I don't want to fail, because then I have to do all this again.
In some areas, you wouldn't expect to see a pedestrian, but the presence of a bus, emergency vehicle, or delivery vehicle might mean there's a pedestrian in the area and perhaps on the road.
Get out of the road, dude.
More often, pedestrians are being struck and killed because they were distracted. Right? Just like distracted drivers, pedestrians can be distracted by cell phones, texting, or reading.
Oh!
Their behavior for clues about their awareness.
I actually did not see that red light. I better be good now.
Sorry, Keith.
There's another tool that's often overlooked, your hearing. You'll be surprised how much you rely on your hearing to know what's going on around you. For instance, you can often hear a car coming up beside you.
No, we're not there yet.
Or the sound of an emergency vehicle approaching in the distance.
We almost ran over Casey, though. There's a motorcycle somewhere. Alright, we looked both ways. Floor it.
Take advantage of all your senses. This street, for instance, is full of hazards you may hear long before you see.
Thanks for the host, BX. Over the speed limit. Heavy braking. Rip. I don't think this has an e-brake. It feels like a front-wheel drive vehicle, too.
Go ahead and pull over in front of any of these houses. Then shut down your car. Continue using these scanning techniques throughout this course. Use both your eyes and your ears to help identify hazards.
Woohoo! 83. You need 80 points. Seeing is believing. Complete lesson 2. Front wheel bore. Front wheel drive's not that bad. It's safer. And my car is fun in front wheel drive. Both wheels are driven too, though. It's not a one-legger.
So you've learned how to identify hazards. Some obvious,
Ew,
some not
gas.
so obvious. You've even learned the first step towards anticipating hazards. But what happens when things don't go as planned? How can you prepare yourself for the unexpected? Well, let's get out of here and I'll show you.
At least it's push to start.
Take a left out of this exit.
Did it want me to go straight on the grass? Go off-roading?
Stop here and look left before pulling out.
Well, their blinker's on. They're turning.
Okay, you're clear to go because this car is turning into the gas station, right? Well, what if he doesn't turn and you decide to pull out?
Oh,
As I
rip.
said, things don't always go as planned, and other drivers don't always make good decisions or obey traffic laws. Now it's safe to pull out.
Is it? Okay.
One way to prepare for the unexpected is to use a technique called what if. It means as you drive, constantly ask yourself, what if?
What if? Am I turning here? Okay. Ooh, what if I run through all these cones?
For instance, what if this car on the left decides to pull out in front of us?
Good. Never tried that though.
What if this car decides to stop suddenly because the light turned yellow?
Well, I guess I should be in the turn lane.
What if this car pulls out in front of you?
Did not run the red light. It was a green arrow. That is rigged.
What if the kid decides to run across the street?
What if I run him over?
Stuff like this happens all the time.
Where am I going? Yeah, how can I eat my cheeseburger if I'm wearing the stupid seatbelt? How can I dip my wings into the ranch sauce?
Okay, here's a math quiz. If you're traveling at the posted speed limit, how close will you get to the kid before coming to a stop?
I'll run him over.
The answer? You won't even have your foot on the brake when you hit him.
Oh, rip kid.
Even if you were paying full attention to the road, it takes several seconds to recognize what's going on, determine if it's a hazard, decide on the appropriate response, and to move your foot from the accelerator to the brake.
I didn't know
Give
my
yourself
wife was
more time to
watching.
react. The obvious would be to stay alert and drive slower in busier areas. But there's another technique that can reduce your reaction time. It's called covering the brake.
Well, she's sitting right across
When
from
you
me.
approach a busy area, instead of keeping your foot over the gas, rest your foot gently on the brake pedal, but do not depress it. You're not actually slowing down, but you're ready to at any moment. This technique can give you a few moments more to react to a situation.
She's working from home today, and our desk's monitors are
Try
back
it
to
yourself.
back.
Scan for hazards and ask yourself, what if? Then cover the brake when appropriate. See how quickly you can respond to any situation.
Sorry for running you over, Cloven. Don't run out in the street next time. What am I supposed to do? Oh, I'm in Park Drive. You're suing. Alright, speed limit's 35. Don't you pull out in front of me. Whoa, over speed limit. Hey, Jordan. Hey, how you doing? Hey, trying to talk to you. Hello? She won't talk to me. Hey, do you want to be a hood ornament? Alright, so it's not penalizing me for being on the wrong side of the street.
Okay, I think you got it. Pull over by any of these houses and shut down your vehicle. At first, you might have to make a conscious effort to think, what if? But as you get a little more experience, it'll happen more naturally.
One-way street, maybe. Alright, another 50 points. It happens. Run over the kid. My hood doesn't look like that. Intersections. I wonder if this would count for like craft school. Oh, the game did crash. Game hit the wall. Maybe don't call them cheap, Havor. Intersections. At least it only dashboarded and it didn't kill my stream.
You'll have the chance to experience many types of intersections, each with their own set of rules. Let's start with the most common, the four-way stop. At these intersections, every vehicle has a stop sign. The question is, how do you know who gets to go first?
I go first. This is rigged. Why am I
The
last?
first one to arrive gets to go first, then the second, then the third. It's important then to pay attention to the order in which the vehicles arrive and come to a stop.
Alright, who the hell's at a stop sign this long?
Let's get back in the car. When it's your turn to go, drive straight through the intersection. If you're ever unsure whose turn it is, it's safer and more courteous to let the other driver go first. Try to make eye contact with the other driver and use a hand gesture if possible. Then proceed.
Oh, use a hand gesture.
In case there was any miscommunication.
Do I have the bird hand gesture in my arsenal?
Try this on your own. Pay
Oh,
attention to
stop.
the order in which the other vehicles arrive and proceed through the intersection when it's your turn.
Alright, it's my
Remember,
turn.
you must wait for your turn, which means waiting for the other driver to completely pass through the intersection before you proceed.
The brakes on this car suck. Alright, we're turning.
Okay, here's another intersection with very different rules. Notice the other vehicles don't have a stop, only you. In this case, you have to decide when it's safe to pull out. Make sure you use your turn signal to let other drivers know where you're headed. A very common crash occurs when you assume the vehicle in front of you has pulled out and you are still looking to the left.
The brakes on my Volt are pretty good, but I have two types of brakes. I have the engine braking and the mechanical brakes. Yeah, we hear that. Dude, why are you stopping in the middle of the road?
Signal lights are in a way easier because you have a light that tells you when to go. At many intersections, you can take a right when the signal light is still red. But whether the signal light is red or green, you should look both ways several times before pulling into the intersection. Remember, other drivers don't always obey traffic laws.
Are you done working? Every day I'm swerving. I'll plug it in later.
At least one car length between you and the vehicle in front of you. That gives you room to move around the car if you have to. When the light turns green, you may be
I
ready
got
to
good
take
driving
off,
for this.
but it's safer to wait a few seconds before moving forward. You don't want to be the first one in the intersection if you can help it, because all it takes is for someone to try and beat the light, and...
Oh, rip. Oh, failed. Man, I was trying to split the lanes there.
You'll have the chance to experience many types of intersections, each with their own set of rules. Let's start with the most common, the four-way stop. At these intersections, every vehicle has a stop sign. The question is, how do you know who gets to go first? The rule is simple. The first one to arrive gets to go first, then the second, then the third. It's important then to pay attention to the order in which the vehicles arrive and come to a stop. Looks like you're number 4.
The masturbator achievement? What? Alright, fine, we'll
When
wait
it's your
till
turn to
4
go,
this time.
Drive straight through the intersection. If you're ever unsure whose turn it is, it's safer and more courteous to let the other driver go first. Try to make eye contact with the other driver and use a hand gesture if possible. Then proceed slowly
Yeah.
in case there was any miscommunication.
If there was a car behind me, they would have been honking at me when the truck went.
Try this on your own. Pay attention to the order in which the other vehicles arrive and proceed through the intersection when it's your turn.
Alright, they are stopped, so I'm going.
Remember, you must wait for
Oh!
your turn.
I was going, he shouldn't have went. Well, my car's faster. I would have been through that intersection already. Acceleration on
You'll
this
have the chance to experience
import
many types
is
of intersections, each with their own set of rules.
slow.
Let's start with the most common, the four-way stop. At these intersections, every vehicle has a stop sign. The question is, how do you know who gets to go first?
Who gets to go first is the
The rule is
million-dollar
simple. The first one
question.
to arrive gets to go first, then the second, then the third. It's important then to pay attention to the order in which the vehicles arrive and come to a stop. Looks like you're number 4. Let's get back in the car.
Roundabouts. My
When
wife
it's your turn to
hates
go, Drive
roundabouts.
straight through the intersection. If you're ever unsure whose turn it is, it's safer and more courteous to let the other driver go first. Try to make eye contact with the other driver and use a hand gesture if possible. Then proceed slowly in case there was any miscommunication.
Well, ding me for... Nope. Oh! Over the speed limit,
Try this
not
on
the
your own.
wrong side.
Pay attention to the order in which the other vehicles arrive and proceed through the intersection when it's your turn.
Hurry up and go, you slow pokes. Come on, go! What are you all waiting for? You're in like a Corvette. You should be moving. Oh, finally somebody moves. What the heck? Who stays at a stop sign that long? Yeah, we only have a few roundabouts in this area, so people don't know. My wife will go like 4 blocks out of the way to avoid the big one in Long Beach.
Okay, here's another intersection with very different rules. Notice the other vehicles don't have a stop, only you. In this case, you have to decide when it's safe to pull out. Make sure you use your turn signal to let other drivers know where you're headed. A very common crash occurs when you assume the vehicle in front of you has pulled out and you are still looking to the left.
Maybe. I just got a good driving point. Alright, speed limit's 45. I hate one-way streets, and New York has a lot of those. So does downtown LA. I've been to New York once.
Signal lights are in a way easier because you have a light that tells you when to go. At many intersections, you can take a right when the signal light is still red. But whether the signal light is red or green, you should look both ways several times before pulling into the intersection. Remember, other drivers don't always obey traffic laws.
Well, if they don't obey the traffic laws, it's on them. Yay, good driving. Alright. Where's my cruise control or my adaptive cruise control? Alright, this time we're not going to split the lanes.
Between you and the vehicle in front of you. That gives you room to move around the car if you have to. When the light turns green, you may be ready to take off, but it's safer to wait a few seconds before moving forward. You don't want to be the first one in the intersection if you can help it, because all
It's not called I-30
is for
here,
someone
it's
to
called
try
something
and beat the
else.
light. And
Oh, rip
clear up
that.
this mess. Okay, let's keep going.
That Vette and Hummer, that Hummer would win.
Taking a left
Well,
across traffic is tricky, as you're intentionally crossing in front of other vehicles. Make sure oncoming traffic is going to stop before proceeding through the intersection, even if you have a green arrow.
alright. Cautionness. There. Alright, speed limit's 45. Is this kid gonna run out? No. Fire hydrant. Ooh, is this a roundabout?
Are unique intersections. They're designed so you don't have to stop, but you do have to yield to oncoming traffic, as those vehicles already in the roundabout have the right of way. Merge in when it's safe, and look for your exit.
Are there any concerts during E3? I don't even know. Dude, don't hit me, truck. Right, the game got eerily quiet. Over speed limit. What the heck?
Not all intersections have signal lights or stop signs. For instance, this highway, with its on-ramps and off-ramps, is just like an intersection, where other vehicles will be crossing your path or pulling into your lane. Just note you may need to stop for other vehicles, even if you have the right of way. So depending on where you live, railroad crossings may be rare, but you must know what to do and what not to do.
Ooh, we're supposed to speed around those arms, right?
Take warning lights seriously. Even if you don't see a train, don't go around the gates or cross the tracks if the lights are flashing. Don't try to beat the train.
That's no fun.
Trains are moving way faster than they look, and they can't stop in time. And when it comes to a crash between you and a train, the train always wins.
Ripped.
Wait
That's
until
rigged.
the gates are fully up and all warning lights stop before you cross. Even then, it's good to look both ways before crossing. Don't rely solely on the signal lights. Whatever you do, don't stop on the tracks, even if a train is not coming. If a car is in front of you, it's better to wait till he's out of the way so you don't get trapped if they suddenly stop.
Ooh, good driving.
Pull over
The
here
heck are we
and
on?
shut down the car. I know that it was a lot to learn, but you'll have more time to practice intersections. Bottom line, use caution at all intersections, look both ways, and use your turn signals. And don't assume other drivers will always obey the
Friday,
rules.
Friday. Did not look both ways. Rip. I did. Oh, I did. Huh. No, I didn't. Oh, yeah, I did. Well, make sure you guys are paying attention. Following distance. My car tells me how far I can be. I don't need a game to do it. No. You need to do it the wrong spelling. Yeah, I made a typo, so you need to make a typo as well.
So maintaining an adequate following distance is one of the most overlooked safe driving practices. The recommended following distance between you and the vehicle in front of you is 4 to 6 seconds, and that's in good weather. Add in wet roads, poor visibility, and other factors, and that recommended following distance can go up to 8 to 10 seconds. If that seems like a long way back, it is. Or at least it'll look like it is. Yeah, sure, you can tailgate someone, and as long as traffic keeps moving, no problem, but things can change suddenly. As I mentioned
Oh,
before,
rip
it
that
takes
truck.
longer to stop a vehicle than you might think. It takes approximately 1.5 seconds to recognize a hazard and begin pressing the brake. That's because in any given situation, the driver must first see the hazard, second, identify it as a risk, third, decide if braking is the correct response, and then finally move the foot from the gas to the brake. The 1.5 second response time assumes you are paying full attention to the road and not distracted, which can add several seconds to your response time. Keep this in mind, this is not how long it takes your vehicle to come to a stop, it's how long it takes before your foot touches the brake and the vehicle only begins to slow down.
Yeah, you have to still drive wrong, because I spelt it
In
wrong.
danger of being hit twice. Whether you hit the car in front of you or not, by stopping short, you're now in danger of being hit from behind. Leaving enough space for you to slow down also leaves enough time for the vehicle behind you to stop.
No, I can't spell and do it at the same time.
Okay,
Yeah, I am
now
going to
it's your
stream
turn.
tomorrow morning.
Let's get on the highway and practice maintaining a 4-second following distance.
Wanted War, you got in now. Same with you above Hunter. Alright. I need to start the car. That's not heavy braking, I'm just braking. Okay, how can I can't see behind me. I'm just gonna have to go.
This might help until you get a feel for what 4 seconds looks like. If you find yourself too close to the vehicle in front of you, just back off slowly.
My car tells me that. I don't know if it'll penalize me for tailgating, let's see. Too fast in weather conditions, what the heck?
Although you're doing your best to maintain a proper following distance, you won't always be able to control your distance as other
Oh,
vehicles
don't hit the
merge
cop!
in and out of your lane. What's important is that you're aware of your distance and you're continuously and safely making adjustments to your speed. What you don't want to do is make abrupt changes in speed or drive too far below the posted speed limit.
I'll wait for it to be out in
Try it without the graphic.
Netflix.
So now, how do you know if you're maintaining a 4-second following distance? Well, one trick is to use roadside objects, such as a road sign, guardrail, or these black and yellow markers on the left.
Black and yellow, black and yellow.
Well ahead of you. When you see the vehicle
1,
in front of you pass
2,
that marker, begin
3,
counting, and
4.
continue counting until your vehicle passes the same marker. This is a good estimate of how far you are from the vehicle in front of you. Go ahead and try it. Look at the vehicle in front of you. Wait until it passes some marker you choose. Then count 1, 2, 3, 4, and stop counting when your car passes the same marker. If you're too close, adjust your distance, choose another marker, and then count again. You won't need to use this
You got in,
technique all the
Bubbles.
time, just when you need to check if you're far enough back. Also, this technique can be very useful, but don't ignore the other vehicles around you.
We had to buy 3D because everything else was sold out. We have our tickets for the 26th. I think we're going at 1:30 in the afternoon, maybe. I'll turn off my phone. Oh. Alright, no one's coming, no stupid pedestrians.
Maintaining a proper following distance is just as important on surface streets as it is on the highway. You may be traveling at slower speeds, but you still need to maintain enough distance, as other vehicles are stopping and turning more often. I'll turn the graphic
No, we
back
don't
on.
need to ban Jordan. My car literally tells me this. It has a little thing on the dashboard for it. It's yellow most of the time, not green, but... Yeah, I think Deus is going to play this as well. Reverse. No, then I have to redo this whole thing. I did that in the beginning. I reversed into a cop car. SpongeBob isn't AI. Hey, I got good driving. Dude, that guy is almost on my butt. You don't know my middle name. It ain't Timmy. It's a Hispanic middle name. It ain't Jesus. Thanks for the host, Stocky. Oh, heavy braking. I ran the red, might as well go through it.
Go ahead and
Yeah, I
blend in
didn't
with
realize I
this
was that
response
close.
and shut down the car.
'81. Wow, so close to not having an achievement. I'll send that to you on Discord later, SpongeBob. The bot didn't pick you. Space management. Yeah, during the ID stream, I was finishing up the second playthrough where the bees make honey.
So maintaining space around your vehicle is closely related to maintaining a proper following distance, but in this case, it means maintaining space all around your vehicle, not just in front of you. For this lesson, I'll provide a graphic that will warn you when other vehicles are nearby.
That's probably what I'm streaming tomorrow,
All right, start
if
your
it's
vehicle
not
and pull
World
out
War
onto the
Z.
road. Make sure to check your mirrors
I mean,
and use
DayZ.
your turn signal before pulling out.
Dude, that vet is on my butt. Well, Casey and I might co-stream DayZ tomorrow. I'm waiting for him to confirm that. Be nice to Casey. My turn signal is on. That dude's like in the lane. Hello, Popo. I put my phone in airplane mode when I'm in the movie and I never look at it.
In the previous lesson, you learned the importance of leaving enough space between you and the vehicle in front of you in case you have to stop suddenly. But coming to a stop may not always be the appropriate response. If the appropriate response is to steer around the vehicle, you'll need to make sure there's a safe space to move into, such as an adjacent lane. So how do you know if there's a safe space to move into? Well, the same method you use for identifying hazards, you'll also use to identify safe spaces. Use your scanning techniques, especially checking your mirrors, to identify spaces around your vehicle that are clear of traffic. Look left and right often where are you going? Check if there's a car beside you. And position your vehicle so that those spaces remain clear. Don't weave
It told me to go there.
traffic. Just make subtle adjustments to your speed. Remember, you can't control the behavior of other drivers, but you can do your best to keep things clear around you, and at least know when they're not.
I haven't looked at the list yet. I'm sure there's something online with it. Thanks for the follow, King. Look both ways before you go. Alright, so Halvor, I'm not streaming Beasts tomorrow morning. Maybe Sunday then. Ooh, we could fight it out. You mean soccer? Football. How far do I have to drive in this one? Oh, hello, cop. Dude, that guy hit the cop! What the heck? It wouldn't let me record that. I'll have to try to pull it from the VOD. There's a motorcycle somewhere. Hey, finally a turn.
On the highway, it's the same thing. There's no telling when you might have to change lanes quickly, so make sure you always have a clear space around you.
I don't like that you can't turn around all the way behind you. Dude, motorcycle. What the heck? Collision, I didn't hit anything. Whoa. Weather. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 more. How many more? Alright, there's 5 more lessons, but I guess the other achievements are in free roam.
So maintaining space around your vehicle is closely related to maintaining a proper following distance, but in this case, it means maintaining space all around your vehicle, not just in front of you. For this lesson, I'll provide a graphic that will warn you when other vehicles are
9
nearby.
shot song.
Alright, start your vehicle and pull out onto the road. Make sure to check your mirrors and use your turn signal before pulling out.
Oh, I almost hit a motorcycle. Rip him. I don't know what the speed limit is, so we'll just go 40.
In the previous lesson, you
Dude,
learned the
that guy ran a
importance of
red.
having enough space between you and the vehicle in front of you in case you have to stop suddenly. But coming to a stop may not always be the appropriate response. If the appropriate response is to steer around the vehicle, you'll need to make sure there's a safe space to move into, such as an adjacent lane. So how do you know if there's a safe space to move into? Well, the same method you use for identifying hazards, you'll also use to identify safe spaces. Use your scanning techniques, especially checking your mirrors, to identify spaces around your vehicle that are clear of traffic. Look left and right often.
Doesn't like my
check if
heavy
there's a car
braking.
beside you, and position your vehicle so that those spaces remain clear. Don't weave in and out of traffic. Just make subtle adjustments to your speed. Remember, you can't control the behavior of other drivers, but you can do your best to keep things clear around you and at least know when they're not.
At least no penalty for heavy acceleration. Alright, speed limit's 55. I don't like this light braking crap. Harley on my butt. Popo. Oh, speeding again.
On the highway, it's the same thing. There's no telling when you might have to change lanes quickly, so make sure you always have a clear space around you.
Or just drive in the middle. Following too close. Oh, rip. Well, that motorcycle's following me too close. He needs to be penalized. Where's our exit? Put off the motorcycle. I'm glad there's no turn signals in Forza. Forza.
Okay, go ahead and pull into this gas station.
It's Forza.
Shut down your vehicle when you find a good place to park.
They tweeted it has a T in it. %. Woohoo! Right, free drive. Let's see how much fun I can have in this. Wow, look at all these penalties. Wow. That was funny. The zombies just want a hug.
So far, you've done a good job driving with normal traffic, but let's talk about some specialty vehicles you may encounter. So there are certain types of vehicles you'll want to pay special attention to, such as bicycles, motorcycles, emergency vehicles, and buses, each with their own set of behaviors. Bicycles and motorcycles are unique vehicles. Not only are they more vulnerable in a crash, but because of their smaller size, they can be difficult to spot. A bicycle or motorcycle can readily be hidden by another car. They also more easily fit into your blind spots. And even when you can see them, it may be difficult to determine their speed or predict their actions, because they're capable of different maneuvers than other vehicles.
Wow, my brakes sucked right there. So I have to wait 3 seconds when the light turns green. No one does that. One, two, three.
There are specialty vehicles, such as buses and taxis, which make frequent stops and return to the road regularly.
Are we allowed to turn on red here?
There are specific laws regarding some specialty vehicles. Like with school buses, for instance, you are required to stop when its lights are flashing, and you cannot continue until the bus's stop sign is retracted and the lights are turned off. You may continue once the bus shuts off its lights, but still keep an eye out for children.
Run over children, is that what it said? Wow, Casey's gonna leave me for dead. Speed limit's 25? What the hell kind of crap is that? I can't drive that slow.
Even if a bus is coming the other way, you're still required to stop until its lights stop flashing.
Alright, I looked both ways. I was using the turn signal. What the hell, stupid? Not a game.
Postal vehicles have a special purpose that requires them to make frequent stops and drive outside the flow of traffic. In addition, postal workers often have to exit their vehicle, so when approaching a postal vehicle, keep an eye out for the driver as well as the movement of the vehicle. Give them plenty of room by slowing down and moving over as far as possible.
N? No. So it doesn't care that I drive on oncoming traffic. My turn signal is on. I would not want to drink my
Keep an ear
own.
out for sirens. You'll most likely hear an emergency vehicle long before you see it. And there's specific laws regarding emergency vehicles. You're required to pull over as far as possible, even if the emergency vehicle is traveling in the opposite direction. If the emergency vehicle is coming up from behind you, don't panic. Simply find a safe place to pull over as quickly as possible, and keep in mind, other vehicles will be trying to do the same thing.
Oh, I'm in a blind spot or a no zone. Wow, I was getting points taken off. So don't follow the trucks too far behind.
Trucks offer a special challenge. They're big, so they're easy to spot, but in turn, their size makes it difficult for them to see you. Trucks have blind spots, some of which are large enough to completely hide your vehicle from the driver's view. Take a look at the graphic. These blind spots
Dude, that
are
guy
often
tapped
referred
me.
to as no zones because they're areas you want to avoid. There are times, of course, when you need to enter a no zone in order to pass. When you do, spend as little time there as possible. Try passing
This no zone
truck.
looks like Denver,
Pass through
near
no zone
the
quickly, but without speeding.
DIA airport. Alright, it wants us to go into this truck's no zone. That sounds kinky.
Exit here.
Alright, where to now? Ooh, postal truck.
Especially in cities, you'll often find delivery trucks double parked. There are no special rules regarding delivery trucks, but be aware of pedestrians walking around them and check your mirrors before changing lanes.
Okay. One, two, three. Yeah, I was gonna host 7.
Alright, pull over here and shut down your vehicle. Pull over as soon as you can. Remember to follow
Park.
the specific laws regarding emergency vehicles and school buses. For all other special vehicles, be aware of the way they move and the best way to act around them.
Yay! Completed. Alright, well that is where I'm going to end this stream of Driving Essentials. If I can type. Thank you guys for stopping by. Tomorrow morning, Casey and I will do a co-stream of DayZ. Thank you guys for stopping by, and I will talk to you all in later in Discord and other streams and whatnot. Have a good night. Happy Friday.